Afternoon. We request all the participants to please be on mute. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Abhishek Vijay Gopal and I head CySecK's academic programs focusing on skilling and promoting research. We'd like to welcome all of you to today's webinar, which is the first as the part of the Digital Defenders Cybersecurity Masterclass and Capture the Flag competition 2023. This competition is being organized by CySecK in association with Cisco Systems India Private Limited, Cisco CSR, the Center for Network Intelligence at the Indian Institute of Science, and it is powered by Traboda. Thank you for joining us. Before we begin, I'd like to place on record a few ground rules. All the attendees to the webinar will be on mute until the completion of the talk from today's speaker. This will be followed by a Q&A at the end of the talk. So you can reserve your questions till the end, or you could type them in the chat box, and the questions will be moderated. Questions on a similar theme and on a similar topic will be aggregated and put to the speaker. However, you can also do a raise of hands towards the end of the webinar in case you wish to ask anything directly to the speaker, and then we will accordingly unmute you. So I will just go through the registration part just to make it clear. So this webinar is a part of the Digital Defenders CTF 2023. However, both CTF and non-CTF participants are most welcome to attend the webinar, and I will explain the process of registration and attendance for both the categories of attendees. For the first category of attendees, who are the participants of the Digital Defenders CTF 2023, you should have already registered on the website. You should have already registered on the CTF 2023 website, and you should have done it by yesterday. Yesterday was the deadline. So you cannot register for the CTF now, but as part of the CTF, you would be required to mandatorily attend this webinar. And to be considered for the CTF portion of the competition, it is mandatory that the participant attends all the 8 webinars which are being organized by Cisco and participates in all the 8 assessments. The future selection for the actual CTF competition, which will take place between 6th and 9th of July, would be based on their assessment scores. For those of you who wish to attend the webinar as a member of the general public and who's not registered for the CTF, we'd request you to please navigate to the URL cs-coe.isc.ac.in/portal/auth. This is the CySecK website, and this is the screen from where a user can register himself on the CySecK website and log in. So if you are already registered, please log in. If you are not registered, please click on register as user and register. Once registered, you will be navigated to a dashboard, and in the dashboard, there would be a category of webinars, below which there would be a view button. Click on the view button, and you will find a list of webinars which will be open for registration. So for those webinars which are open for registration, you can click on that and scroll all the way down. You will find a blue button with register on it, and you can register yourself. So this is the Digital Defenders program schedule. The registrations had opened on the 11th of May. The sequence of webinars, I will just go over those. We are going to have 8 webinars, all of which will be held by technical experts from Cisco. The first 2 webinars will focus on network security. They will be on June 6th and June 9th. The next couple of webinars will be on web security on June 13th and 16th. The third set of webinars will be on forensics on June 20th and 23rd. And the final set of webinars will be on the topic of cryptography based on June 27th and 30th. So a ballpark scheme of remembering things is Tuesdays and Fridays in the month of June. Please make sure you mark your calendar if you have registered for the CTF. The webinars will all be scheduled between 3:30 to 5 p.m. on these days. So we expect the participants to start joining by around 3:15 to prevent the rush. And we will also cater to the fact that the discussion and presentation, etc., might go on until 5:30. This will be followed by the assessment. I repeat, at the conclusion of the webinar, you will be given a link for the assessment, which will be pasted in the chat box for those who have signed in through Cisco WebEx, and which will also be pasted in the description box on the YouTube live link on which this webinar is being streamed live. By clicking on that, you will be able to participate in the assessment. I will get into more details as I go further. So the actual CTF competition